So, are you thinking about restoring that old bike that you have in your garage? Today we're going to show you how to tackle the bottom bracket. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another great episode of Toolbox Topic. Joined once again by my co-host Brandon Van Leuven. Brandon, how the hell are you?
Top of the morning.
Yeah, we talked about doing it today completely in Irish and or pirate talk. We decided against that, yeah. Pikey too.
And they know we don't understand what we're talking about.
Exactly. You guys
don't
understand it
anyways.
So, and as you could have gathered, once again, we're at the Trek Bicycle Store of West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona, because it's where the cool kids hang out, huh? And me. And today, we are going to be doing another bottom bracket, but this bottom bracket is attached to a classic, Trek 600 with friction shifting or index.
Yeah. This one's friction shifting.
Friction shifting,
down
yeah.
to friction shifting.
And you know what? It seems to be a trend, not a big trend, but we see it a lot where people are getting those older bikes and they're restoring them.
Yeah.
It's almost like building a classic car, but the bottom bracket is definitely different from the last bottom bracket video that we did, which we're going to link that above. So Brandon, get into it.
Yeah, just real quick, a little bit of background.
Yeah.
Michelle, who works here, this is her father-in-law's touring bike.
Okay.
Purchased probably 84, 85, 86.
Oh, geez, yeah, when it was
somewhere
brand
around
new.
there, and he did some significant touring on this bike. Now, I thought it'd be fun just to crack open this bottom bracket. Who knows? Maybe it's never been overhauled. Maybe it's overhauled, and
Maybe
it looks
he was
great
smuggling
in there.
diamonds.
Who knows? I think it'd be fun to crack it open. See, in any case, we're going to open it up. We're going to show you what a loose ball bottom bracket looks like. We're going to clean it up, put it back together.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a second camera angle going here. It's why I got my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing. And so, yeah, Brandon, take it away.
Cool. And some of the things will transfer over from the last bottom bracket video. Some of the procedures are the same, but when we crack into there, we'll see we should hopefully see a significant difference. I don't know what's in there. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Always something different. All right, Brandon, what do we got going on here?
All right, first thing we're going to do is remove the crank arms. This is the same thing that we saw last time when we did the bottom bracket. That was the square taper, but a cartridge bearing square taper. So we'll remove the dust caps here, and underneath there we're going to see just a pretty crude little bolt, I'm sure. Now please forgive me if you see me strain. I don't know how tight these bolts are going to be. We'll find out in a second.
I'm just not going to say anything.
Oh, not bad.
There we go.
Not bad.
Yeah, that was easy.
So again, for the time, this was pretty standard. Now this is quite archaic.
Right.
And then you guys will remember this from last time. I think we might have used a different tool, the one with the blue handle perhaps. This one I wanted to show I like a little bit better because now I can use a tool with a bit more leverage on it.
Right. It's got a crescent wrench in case anybody's wondering.
And this is just pulling the
crank arm from the bottom
off of the square taper bottom bracket.
See, I remember doing this with my first bike, the Nishiki Prestige that I had.
Oh, there you go. You had a Nishiki Prestige?
I had a Nishiki Prestige with a 105 Ultegra mix on the groove.
Man, that was a rad bike.
Yeah.
Two of my friends had a Nishiki Prestige, and I had a Centurion DLX.
Okay, so you weren't the cool kid.
No, I was not the cool kid at all. I got back at him though. But check this out. Now we can inspect the back of the crank arm. This looks pristine still. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice square edges on there. I have no problem putting this crank back onto that set. We'll put this off to the side, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to bring my tools with me. Oops. One thing I should have done was left that crank arm on the side, so in case that bolt was really tight, I would have had something to leverage on.
Right.
Luckily, they aren't super tight on there. Or they were greased up when they were installed, so they never seized on there.
Right.
Which is awesome. Shows that the bike's been taken care of. Here's my crank arm removal tool once again.
So you guys can only hear my voice, you can't see me, but if rebuilding an old classic bike is something you would like to see us do on Toolbox Topic, let us know. I'm sure we can find an older mountain bike and an older road bike and rebuild and restore that so you guys can see the procedure.
Some of those things laying around.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. Also, we might be doing a analog to pedal assist here sometime in the near future, so keep your eyes open for that build.
This is all going to come off.
Yep.
And I'll put the chain. And this cool old bike, we're not going to use it too much right here, but this is something you don't see anymore, these little chain keepers that hold the chain. If we had the crank arm, it would be nice and solid when we took the rear wheel out, but I'll just do it just for fun here. All right, we're going to move on now to some tools that people may not have in their toolbox, unfortunately. Yep. I'm not going to use this anymore. So we got these two guys right here. These are going to be required to remove the lock ring and remove the drive side cup. Not the cup, but the outer plate from the bottom bracket. This might get messy. Don't show my face. We'll see what happens.
No, we'll see. Brandon's going to smear grease under his eyes. Getting after it. Getting after it like a fat kid on Twix.
So also when I kind of spun it around, it doesn't feel terrible out of the gate.
No,
it feels pretty nice.
Pretty darn good,
So we'll see what's going on.
I'm really
you can
shocked.
see it is a little bit dirty. And what we got here is we have that's this little inner cup here. And there's your bearings that you can see.
Okay.
They are not terrible, but they're not great.
So tilt those a little bit more towards me. Angle it. There we go. So I want to try to get that in focus for you guys really good. All right, perfect.
All right, just a little preview of what we're going to do later on is we're going to use this guy. We're going to use this along with a spanner wrench, tighten this against the axle to where we think it's going to feel smooth, but yet tight, and then we're going to lock it down with this lock ring again.
Cool.
So I'm going to remove the drive side now, and then we're going to clean these guys up.
Nice.
We're going to see what happens here. And remember, everyone, too, that on most of these bikes, it's going to be reverse threaded on the non-drive side. So lefty-loosey is not applicable on that side.
Right.
Oh, not bad, not bad.
No.
Sometimes we got to use fire on these guys. Sometimes a little bit of Frieza.
Sometimes we get out the wand and cast a Patronus.
So this is a little grindy coming out, but not terrible.
All right.
At this point, if it was coming out, let's say a little really rough, then we might want to get out a chasing tool and chase the threads before we reinstall. But this feels okay. Maybe we can do a video on that at some point as well.
Yeah.
Cumbersome tools.
I see at this point I'd probably just grab my big channel lock and just freaking go to town on that because it's already loose
These
and I'm
things
not worried about
always
it.
suck. Those little hook tools, there's never enough purchase on the part to really grab on. And I suspect that the other side is going to look very similar. So we can see a little bit of dirt and grime on here. You want to inspect the axle at this point. It's not terrible.
No?
I see a little bit of wear in there, but what you want to do is use your fingernail in here, see if you can feel a ridge or any divots on there. This feels all right. I think this is going to clean up really nice.
Really nice. So, I'm impressed.
Yep, me too. And this guy pops out. And again, here's our kind of our dirty bearings. And you can see all the film and all the crud in the inside cup there. Another thing I'm going to want to do is it tells you what the drive side is and non-drive side on the bottom bracket spindle. But when I work, I always like to keep things in order. Let's come on back over.
Sometimes it makes a difference.
So I was totally prepared for a free ball when I opened this up, so to speak. So I had a magnet out. The magnet, something like this, will help you collect all the bearings. But nice, this is all in a retainer. Looks super good. So this is what we're looking like. And now I'm just going to clean up these parts real well. Inspect the inside of this, and once I get it cleaned out, we'll take a close-up shot of it. And I don't know if you can get in there, Thomas, but this looks really nice. A little bit of a ridge in there, but hardly anything.
Right.
More than to be expected for a bike this old.
Oh, yeah. No, that's looking good. All right.
Yep, super good. So I'm going to clean up all these parts. I have a little bit of clean streak here as well for the bearing retainers. Again, I was ready for open ball, so I had my magnetic bowl ready to go. But now I can use that just to get a little sloppy in here.
Get a little sloppy.
And this stuff is awesome because it's chemical, but it also has a little bit of mechanical cleaning in there because it's under some pretty decent pressure.
All right.
So I'll let that sit there while I clean the other parts right quick.
So how often does somebody come in with an older bike like this that says, hey, can you guys overhaul this? I still ride it. I mean, is it a common occurrence? Has it been more common lately, or am I just...
I don't feel like it's super common.
Okay.
But that's unfortunate because this is actually the kind of repair that feels good to do.
Right.
You know, like I always claim that everything these days is just a throwaway item. Well, now we have quality parts. They're not light.
Right.
These guys are a beast. That's some solid steel right there.
But what, 84, 94, 2004, 14, we're talking almost 40 years old.
Yep.
You know, we're a year shy of 40 years. So that's a testament to the build quality and engineering from yesteryear.
Absolutely. This is fun to do. This makes me feel like a bicycle mechanic doing this kind of stuff. This is a satisfying repair, as we say around here.
Do you kind of feel like Jiminy Cricket reminiscing of Disney back when they actually were a good company?
Controversial.
No, guys. He's not Jiminy Cricket. He's Rip Van Leuven.
Hey, thanks. There's this guy. Oh, that's all one piece on there. Because we will, when we reinstall, start from the drive side and then adjust with the non-drive side. And I wish I could see, oh, of course, it's Shimano. That's why everything after all these years is still so beautiful.
Right. Got it.
They don't make them like this anymore.
They don't.
That's not true. In some instances, Dura Ace is still open ball.
Okay.
Because they do such a beautiful job with their bearings, and Dura Ace is one of my favorite things. It is a premium, absolutely.
You're paying for it, but you're getting your money's worth for sure.
You get an awesome open ball bearing. I think they still do. Don't quote me on. They did up until not too long ago. The Dura Ace hubs were still open ball, and they use like a ceramic bearing in there, which was super cool. Ball bearing.
You know, back in the day, it was Shimano and Suntour basically, and Campanello.
Yeah.
Is what you saw that dominated the industry as far as parts go.
Right. All right, we're looking good. So I've cleaned up my bottom bracket. Everything looks really nice. There's very little wear on there. Before I start repacking all those guys, we are going to clean out and inspect the shell of the frame. Okay. So let's go back this way for a moment.
All right.
Let's take a look inside here. So we got, I'm not going to remove this. This is the like the weather seal and the dust seal in there. It could be kind of fragile, so I'm going to leave that. I do see a little bit of rust and stuff in there, so I am going to clean that out. On this, I think I'm going to use a little bit of clean streak. Just a little bit. I hope I don't overspray you at all.
No, you're good.
And this looks good in here as well. There's not a ton of rust. It's just a little bit from my overspray. A lot of times bikes this old, you'll do that and there'll be a ton of rust and flakes that come out of there and dirt and crap. This bike was well maintained. I'm gonna go to the other side real quick, check it out.
Yep.
Now I can see that little dust seal was probably put in a little bit sloppy at one time because it's kind of folded over.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal. We're just going to put it back in on there. I think this bike's road miles are probably real limited at this point. So everything looks nice. We still got good grooves on here. And yeah, we're looking good.
Sweet.
Nice bike.
Yeah. You guys heard the cracking sound. That was my knees screaming out in agony.
So we're going to remember to put this back in the order that it came in, of course. Now, when I first started learning to work on bikes, the guy told me you can never use too much grease. I found out that's not true, but we're going to use a lot of grease.
Right.
So what I like to do is,
now, normally I'd have a comment about that, guys, but we are a GPG channel these days, so
what I like to do is slather a very healthy amount of park tool grease in this one.
Okay.
And there are other greases out there. There is, there is preference in this stuff.
Okay.
But still, to me, in this application, this
park
all-purpose grease is just fine. So I'm going to squeeze this in there, and then you'll see it'll kind of do that, and then I'm going to make sure it gets in all these bearings. I'm going to actually push it inside these bearings so that's all in between.
Wasn't that a song by Salt and Pepper?
Push it. That one?
That one.
Or is there a ball bearing grease song by Salt and Pepper?
No, just to push it.
All right. That's a lot of grease.
That is a lot of grease.
I'm not going to lie to you. But it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste any. I'm going to
Show
put it
that
back.
to the camera there. There we
put
go.
it back in. And it's going to get a little bit messy.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do at the end is just make sure everything's wiped up so it doesn't attract more dirt and stuff later on. So that looks awesome. Again, we're all cleaned out. I'm going to do the same procedure here.
Lord have mercy. Sorry about the yawn, guys. It's mornings like this I debate whether or not to go back to caffeinated coffee.
I probably should have backed off today. I'm shaky. All right, non-drive side is complete.
Nice.
Wipe that off. I'm also going to put a light layer on the threads in the frame. I guess it doesn't matter. I can put them on these threads.
I was going to say.
A light layer. I guess it doesn't matter in this case.
Threads are threads.
Yep.
That's actually
I guess I never thought of it before, but now that we're on it. I've always done the, I've always lubricated the frame and not the actual bottom bracket. Yep.
Force a habit. Again, I'm yawning, folks.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
All right, just a light layer on the outside there to make it go smooth.
Yep.
Cool. Shall we go back?
Yeah, let's get
All right,
on
we're going
it.
to start with the drive side first.
All right.
If you remember, this guy popped in there. It's all one piece. This side we're going to go ham on out of the box. We're going to give it a good, put some little bit of body weight behind this one. Although we can't do too much because this tool doesn't allow us to get a ton of grip on here.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll just bring all this stuff over while I'm over here, so I don't have to come back. Here we go with the reinstall. Again, I go to the loosening side first until I feel it pop into place.
Right.
That way I ensure that, I'm exaggerating now.
Yeah.
Once I hear it pop into place, now I ensure that I'm not going to cross thread it.
Yeah, we don't want to cross thread it. And man, that just cinched in there really
Yeah,
well.
it's going in there really nice and smooth. Especially just doing it by hand. And what's also nice, there's no sharp parts on here. I'm not cutting my hand on
Right.
on burrs and things like happen so often. So drive side, go ahead and give it a good, once you tighten it up, go ahead and get behind it. As good as the tool will allow you. Now this side is going to require a little bit more finesse. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys started. Again, I'm going to the loose way first till it pops into place. And then I'll go to the tight. Oh,
Nope, not quite.
not quite.
What's going on there, Brandon?
Well, I guess it can't all be smooth, huh?
No?
Am I looking crooked where you're at?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I think I just heard it.
Well, it wouldn't be a video if we didn't have something.
Something, yeah, not quite go. Could always just step on the other side, you know, and...
Yeah, I will. All right.
All right, Brandon's on a mission now.
Yeah.
It's a vendetta.
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience.
Yeah. Just goes to show you, man, half a degree is all it takes to prevent it from doing what it needs to do. But again, that went on there super smooth.
Yeah. It's still going on by hand here. It's cool. So now I'm going to use my spanner wrench. It's this little guy right here. Because it is getting a little tight, and this might take a few seconds. But what I'm going to do now is just give this a snug feel. And what I feel now is it's too tight. I can feel too much weight on the bearing.
Okay.
So I'm going to back it off. I'm going to back it off just a little bit more. Ah, that feels nice. And there's no play this way either.
Yeah.
So I want to let this feel as smooth as possible without any play between the bearing and the spindle. So this feels awesome.
I would say smooth like a chinchilla's coat, but chinchillas are soft, not really smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
And here's my lock ring. Now this is, again, this is a nice bottom bracket. So I'm not worried about when I tighten this thing up that I actually lose pressure on my bearings. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a nice tightening on here. As hard as I can go with what I'm equipped with here. Still feels good. We're gonna put the cranks back on and we're gonna be ready to go. This thing's gonna be ready for another 40 years.
Right?
One. Not going to forget my chain this time, like I
Right.
always do.
Can't all be winners.
And this bike is so big that I can just work through it. Notice that?
Yep.
This must be like a size at least 62. It's a huge bike. So another thing you can do while we're setting up these guys, just give them a little tap with the love side of the hammer. You know.
Oh, that was some funny stuff right there. How was that again, Brandon? A little tap tappy?
Little tap tapperoo.
Gonna tap tap tappy.
And that just sets
guys,
it
we
up.
can't make this stuff up sometimes.
Get the bolts started. When you do these bolts, again, these are big, heavy steel bolts. Go ahead and give them the beans.
Give them the beans. We're not worried about torque setting. Amazingly enough, because everything's a torque setting. But if you guys are keeping up with the shorts that we do, you'll realize that torque setting can greatly affect the performance of your dropper posts.
Oh, nicely done.
Yeah, right?
All right.
There's one. God, this brings back memories.
I can't stress enough how nice it is to work on good old quality parts that come together nice, that are taken care of. Mm-hmm. It really is a treat.
That's why Brandon avoids working on my bikes.
All right. Dust caps on, and we are set. My last thing I'm going to do, dust caps do not have to be on tight, just snug. They're not a critical part. They're just to keep a little bit of
are what they are, the
and
dust
for
caps.
aesthetics in some cases. Got a little bit of grease just kind of spitting out the backside here, so I'm going to clean that up. Especially if I'm handing it back to a customer, I want to make sure that everything, any mess that I've made has been cleaned up before I hand it back.
Yeah.
So you see all the grease on there. I'm going to get rid of all that stuff.
And if
with
you
my
guys
grubby
are
hands.
curious of friggin', you know, my bikes and how I clean them, well, I just bring them to the bike shop dirty. You got it up on the chain guard, Brandon.
Oh, right. Thank you. All right. Ready to go back. And that's how you do that.
All right.
Thanks for sticking
Transition
with
us
us.
out, Brandon.
Bye.
All right, my friends. I would say out of all the videos we've done over the last 24 months, that was certainly one of the most enjoyable and fun. That was really freaking cool. So
Glad you thought so.
Yeah.
I hope they think so as well.
yeah.
I
I
liked
mean,
it.
they're all fun. They all have their merits and everything like that. But just really a 40-year-old bike, a little bit of nostalgia, showing that still in 2023, it's something that you can do with the right tools. And yeah, like you said, you can get another probably 20, 30 years riding out of this bike.
Who knows? Maybe he's never done anything to that and it still looked that great after all this time.
It's quite possible.
Yep.
Quite possible. So, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we did creating it for you. At this point, hit like, subscribe, bell notification icon. It's trifecta we love so much around here at Get Out Arizona. Helps channel, helps the video. We also ask that you follow the links down below. Most importantly, Brandon's at Trek Bicycle Store West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona. If you have any questions about what you've seen today, or a past episode, give them a call, all right? Brandon has a great staff down here. I love them to death. They'll be more than happy to take care of you. Our social media links, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the devil's work. But if you want to keep up on the day-to-day affairs, that's where you're going to do it. We do group hikes. We do group rides. It's a whole lot of fun. The other links are our affiliate links. So if you make a qualifying purchase, you're not charging anything additional, but we receive a small commission, and it will help out with gas money, park pass money, and coffee money. The other trifecta that we love so much around here. So if you have any questions, if there's something that you want to see, now we've had some really good requests from viewers, subscribers, which we're going to be getting to those videos here in the next couple weeks. Don't be afraid to ask. I'd love to see a video on how you do this. We love it. We're an interactive channel, and when you guys ask those great questions down in the comments below, or you request specific videos, it really makes our day. No fooling. So on that note, kind to yourself and others, be amazing steward on the trail, and we have to ask, what are you waiting for?
Get Out Arizona.
Yeah. We'll see you on the next adventure. Take care, everybody. Brandon, we'll see you next
It's a
week.
greasy handshake there.
That's all right.